It is Tuesday after dark. See Quinn, Kyle, Lisa, Joey Baseball. What's going on, guys? It is Krazy After Dark time, and I am tired. But I think I'm always tired these days. Something about this whole lockdown. I think it's lack of sunlight or something. What's everyone? I didn't get rid of the chat, did I? Everyone's disappeared all of a sudden. All right, let me look over here. Joey Hockey Puck is here. Gary, hello. Kyle says, not so good. My aunt lost her apartment building. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Kyle. That's unfortunate. Definitely. Is it, well, I don't want to pry. I don't want to ask what the situation is because that may be personal, but Joey says, hey, Big Sexy. Hey, Joey, how are you? James says, hey, guys, I have a question for you. Let me move this here. Do you have a TV show that you like but don't love? I have two examples, Loud House and Johnny Bravo. I think there's a lot of shows that I like enough that I'll stop and watch them, but I don't love them. What's a good example? I don't know, any old sitcom from the 80s. Like, I'll stop on Give Me a Break or The Facts of Life or any of those old sitcoms I grew up with from the 80s. I love them because they have such nostalgia value, but I don't love them. They're not that great. I don't need to own all the DVDs of, I don't know, Facts of Life. I don't own any DVDs of Facts of Life. I don't need to. Comes on TV, I'm gonna sit and watch it because I got this nostalgia factor. So those are the kind of shows that I would say that applies to for me. Jerry Baseball says, is Baby Yoda going to be joining us tonight? Nope, I had to give Baby Yoda back to my daughter. My daughter loaned me Baby Yoda for the live stream last week, but she wanted him back. So, Sav says, top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you, Sav. Thank you for joining us. Quinn says, I'm currently watching the Incredible Hulk series from 1978. Classic series. I'm on episode 4. I've also been watching Star Trek The Next Generation. Only 5 more episodes and I'm done with season 4. Season 4 of Star Trek The Next Generation is my favorite season of Star Trek The Next Generation. I just think that's the season that show was just firing on all cylinders. The episode Brothers, where Dr. Soong activates the homing beacon and Data and Lore both come back to him, and that's a great episode. Rick is here. Rick says, yo, when I say yo back to you, Rick. Rick was just live this morning. David says, hey, Joe. Love today's video. Oh, thank you, David. But the ones to thank are Martinez Joe and Marie. They really took me by surprise. I was not expecting a package, so that was a very nice surprise. And I'm not good at that. I'm not good at putting together those little packages because I never know what people have, you know? But I'm working on it. I'm trying to get one together now. Hopefully I can pull the sweat out. Oh, I swear, I'm tired all the time. I think it's lack of sunlight, you know? I think this is not natural, being in the house all the time. I get it. That's what we got to do. I understand. But it's not natural. And I think it's just making me tired all the time. How about you guys? Is everyone sleeping okay, or is this whole quarantine thing messing with your sleep too? I've read articles online. Apparently, I'm not alone. Apparently, people have been having issues with their sleep because of all this. Jay Jarvis is in the house. Tuffy Perkins is here. Welcome, Tuffy. Rick says, I need the last 90 minutes of my life back. I watched one of the bottom 5 animated films in the last 5 years. Oh, what was it? Ugly Dolls? No, tell me, what was it, Rick? What was it? Alex says, hi, Joe. Am I late to the party? Yeah, only a couple minutes. Couple minutes, Alex. Not very late. Backwin says, very good question, James. I like Bob's Burgers, but I don't love it. James says, hey, Joe, a couple of nights ago I watched Superman versus the Elite. It's the best Superman animated movie, in my opinion. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to check. It's streaming on DC Universe, I think. So I'll have to check that one out. But I have not seen that one. Sorry, we're back on the couch again. We're back on the couch for a reason tonight. Well, Oreo's here. Hey, Oreo. How you doing, buddy? Main reason I came to the couch tonight is I think Christine wants popcorn. So she can make the popcorn over at the bar if she wants to. And then it's not disruptive because I was afraid if I was like making the popcorn while I'm talking, it would have gotten a little weird, I think. Let's see. Where are we? Marie is in the house. Welcome, Marie. Brandon says, I say don't worry if people have what you're getting them. It's the thought behind the gesture. Very true. Very true. James says, you knew this already, but I like the Loud House and Johnny Bravo, but I don't love them. I felt that Johnny Bravo, while it got better by season 2, was too basic. Marie says, that was a sweet unboxing. Upside down. Hi from Hall. Jay is reading to little G. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I got your note after it. I already opened like 3 things because I opened it. But I didn't want to like accidentally like have your address go out to everybody. Joey says, you tell people in my city, nobody's staying indoors. Literally, everybody is outside and none of them are wearing masks. Joey, what city are you in? Please tell me so I can avoid it. It doesn't sound safe. You want to hear stupid? I had to go to my storage unit tonight. I had to drop something off at my storage unit. And I didn't know, because, the way the storage unit works is, it's not like a store. It's not like Walmart or Giant. Very often, nobody else is in there. Very often, you're the only one in there. And in the rare occasions when someone else is in there, they're usually very avoidable because you just got enough room to move. So I'm wondering to myself, do I have to wear a mask going into the storage unit? Because probably no one's going to be in there. And if there are, it's a giant like warehouse. And if there's like 2 people in there, you're going to be able to stay away from each other easily enough. So I had my mask with me. But I get to the door, the gate, and there's a sign up, and it's saying, stay 6 feet away from each other and here, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't say a word about needing a mask. And also, I was the only car in the parking lot. So I'm like, I'm the only one here. I'm not going to wear a mask. So I go in, and I get halfway down the hall. Like, I'm halfway down the hall. And I see a sign that says, due to the, governor's orders, you must wear a mask in this facility. And I'm like, too late. Too late. Why are you telling me I need to wear a mask in this facility when I'm already in the facility and halfway down the hall? Put it on the front door. If you put it on the front door, I'll put my mask on as I'm coming in. But I left the mask in the car because you didn't say it in the front door. Is that stupid? I thought it was stupid. But then again, I was the only one there. Brent with the super chat. Thank you, Brent. Super chat hippo, thanks you. Now I lost your message though, Brent. How do I get to that? Do you think America will be back to 100% normal? Eventually it'll be back to 100% normal. I don't know when eventually is. It could be over a year from now because we might have to wait for a vaccine or something. Some experts are saying it could take 15 years to come up with a vaccine. Like, apparently that's the usual turnaround time. for a vaccine. So I don't know. But yeah, no, I think we're definitely going to get back to normal someday. Just when? I don't know. I don't know. I saw someone. I don't want to get political here. I don't want to get political. Like, obviously, we're in an election year. We got two candidates. And I'm not going to, on this stream and in this venue, endorse any particular candidate because it's not the kind of show we do here. But I will tell you that Joe Biden had a woman, some Olympic athlete, uh, endorsing him, and this athlete, whom I'm not familiar with, was going on about how things will never, ever, ever, ever be the same again. What was normal, that it'll never. She said the world before COVID-19 is gone. It's over. It's history, and it's done, and we're never going back to that. And I'm sitting there watching this and thinking, I don't like your message. I don't like your message because no, we want the world back the way it was. We want the world back. That's the goal. The goal is to get the world back exactly the way it was. That's the goal. Anything short of that, and we have failed. Because I don't want to spend the rest of my life having to stand 6 feet away from each other. I don't want to spend the rest of my life having to wear a mask everywhere I go. Yeah, we have to do these things now. I get it. We have to do these things now. But I think I speak for everyone when I say we want it back the way it was. We want the world exactly the way it was. So if you come out here with a real cynical message of it's never going back, it's not. What kind of a message is that? That's not a message I want to hear. It's not a message I believe in. I don't believe that. But anyway. So I'm way behind on the chats here. What are people saying? First of all, what is the worst animated movie? Down the movie says it was Ugly Dolls. Bottom of the barrel with the wildlife, the Emoji Movie, and Surf's Up 2. Well, it did not look good. I didn't see it, but it didn't look good. Come on, you can get up there? Can you get up? Hang on, I gotta help Oreo. Come on up, buddy. Come on up. Look. Come on. Just make the jump. Make the jump. Yeah, very good. Very good. He has trouble. He's not young anymore. Now, whatever you do, don't get down off the couch again. Because if you get down off the couch again, then you're just going to want to get back up again. That's what he does. He gets up, then he gets down, then he can't get back up. And I'm like, why'd you get down? All right. Down the movie says Unhinged Unhinged is assuming to be the first movie in theaters. Yes, I just read about this. It's a new Russell Crowe movie. They're trying to get it to be the first movie in theaters, which is probably a very smart move because I never heard of the thing, and that's a pretty cool approach if you want people to see your movie. Are you coming over? What are you doing? Look, no, come on over. Oreo, you're more than welcome to come over here. Don't just stand there staring at me. You can come over. Hang on. Come on. No, why'd you jump off the couch? Now you're just going to want to get back on here. See, now you're looking to get back on here. Why'd you get off? Oh my God. He'll drive you crazy. And now he's back. All right, come here. What do you want? Do you want to get covered with the blanket? Come here. Here's the blanket. Don't you jump off the couch again. I'm sure this is fascinating viewing me talking to an off-camera dog. James says, so Crazy Joe. Really? I was just trying to do that for you. Come here. There you go. There you go, buddy. Now just settle down. Relax. No, look. Why are you coming out again? You got to decide what you want, buddy. I'm giving you everything you want, and then you're deciding you don't want it anymore. Really? You got to settle down, man. This is ridiculous. Sorry, guys. This is turning out to be insanity over here. Oh, God. Joey Baseball, did you actually say the Emoji Movie is fantastic? I swear, I don't believe anything Joey Baseball says anymore. I really think everything he says is for shock value. David Rembert says, Ugly Dolls is okay for adults, good for kids. Down the Movie says, I think Joey Baseball is aiming to be banned from all movie channels by saying Emoji Movie and Ugly Dolls are fantastic, and things like the Joker and Onward were awful. He didn't actually say the Joker was awful, did he? I think that Joey Baseball might be the Armand White of YouTube. Anyone who doesn't know who Armand White is, look him up. Look him up. Noah says Joey is just trolling. I agree. David says Rickster's taking over the live stream. Yeah, well, I'm a little distracted here tonight for reasons. What are you doing? Look, come on over. Or don't. But don't try. You can't have it both ways. You either are going to sit on the couch or you're not going to sit on the couch. But we can't have an hour of you jumping up and down off the couch. Nobody wants to see that. They can't even see that. You're on the other side of the couch. They just see me talking to you. Yeah, come over. Come over. Dan Movie says, Joe, I see see above message if you missed it. Okay, I missed it. Oh, no, I did see that message, Rick. I did see that message. Where are we? James says, all right, guys, do you remember the shake weights? That's the stupidest invention I've ever seen. Yes, there was a shake weight in Thor Ragnarok. There was a shake weight in Thor Ragnarok. Lisa's here. I have the same type of arguments with my 18-year-old cat, jumping up and down and then clawing on the couch to get up. Greg says, an animated movie called Food Fight. That's got to be the worst. What is it you want? Do you want to sit here? Look, no, come on over. What are you trying? What is your goal? What are you trying to accomplish? Here. Look, you got plenty of room to sit right there. Just come on over. Hang on a second. Don't jump up. I give up. I give up. Now, he's going to be over here in a minute and want to get back on the couch again. Gary says, Joe, what's your opinion on the Star Trek The Original Series episode Arena? It's one of my favorite episodes of the series, mostly because Kirk versus the Gorn. I love the Gorn. The Gorn is my second favorite Star Trek alien of all time. My favorite Star Trek alien of all time is the Megatu. I love the Megatu. The only thing better than a Gorn is a Megatu. That's what I always say. But yeah, no, Arena, classic episode. Absolutely classic. Vasquez rocks. Someday I want to visit the Vasquez Rocks in California. I've never been there. Rick says I got Sonic the Hedgehog on Blu-ray to review today. Pretty excited to watch it. I think you'll enjoy it, Rick. It's not too bad. I don't think it's great either, but it's certainly not bad. It's enjoyable. Noah says Oreo doesn't know what he wants. Well, he's got doggy dementia. He's very confused most of the time. Backwind says, by the way, if we have any hardcore Star Trek fans here, why is it that the next generation, everyone punches with their palms? It's just one of those things. In the future, they learned that a palm punch is more powerful than a fist punch, much like they learned how it's better to drink out of a glass if it's got, squared edges. It's another very next generation thing. Sav says the Sonic movie's good. Joey says, so I should be banned for liking the Emoji movie. That's a new one. I like the female Ghostbusters too. Telling you, the Armand White of YouTube here, people. The Armand White. Rick says to Greg, keep hoping to find Food Fight for $1 and see how bad it is. I never heard of Food Fight. I'll tell you, I didn't like Sausage Fest, though. The Seth Rogen movie, Sausage Fest, I didn't care for that one. Yeah, you know why? The kind of shock jokes it was going for, like the end, the big food orgy, I just kept thinking, well, Team America World Police did this already. I've seen this before with Team America. Are you gonna come over? Don't. Yeah. No. Come here. Come here. Yes. Don't jump off. No. Just sit down. Sit. Look. Sit. I'm holding you so you don't do anything crazy. Jamel asked how my day was. It was very good. How was yours? Gary says, Joe, since the finale of Survivor Winners at Wars tomorrow night, who's your pick for winning? Who's my pick for winning the way back from Edge? I don't know. I don't know who's going to win the game, but I like Sarah the cop. I do like Sarah the cop. I wouldn't mind seeing Sarah win. Every season she's been on, I've thought she was pretty cool. And this has got to stop, man. We can't have an hour of this. We're 23 minutes into the stream. This has been like 15 minutes. Come on, you got to settle down. Here, look. Here's the blanket. Just there. Relax. Relax. Sit down. Relax. Yes, good boy. He finally sat down. He finally sat down. That was an ordeal. That was an ordeal. Frank says, do I think that Disney should make the Ewoks cartoon? Well, there already is an Ewoks cartoon. I do think the Ewoks and Droids cartoons should be on Disney Plus. That would be awesome if they were. Rick says Food Fight is about all food mascots like Tony the Tiger. Oh, they made a movie about Tony the Tiger? I would actually watch that. I'd like to see that. Lisa says, did I sign up for the Muppet Guys Talking live feed this Saturday? 30-year anniversary for Jim is Crazy. Yes, I am signed up for it. Well, you have to be a member of the Muppet Guys Talking Facebook group, but Frank Oz is hosting a live online conference this Saturday with it's him and a couple the other puppeteers, Dave Goles, Fran Brill, Bill Beretta, and they're going to talk about how this week marks the 30th anniversary of Jim Henson's passing, which is very sad. He's been going for 30 years, but I'm looking forward to watching that stream. David asks, what's MGT? Muppet Guys Talking. Muppet Guys Talking was a documentary Frank Oz made about a year ago. Eternal Harmony is in the house. Welcome, Eternal Harmony. Greg says, poor doggy. Yes, it's really, really sad. He isn't well. He isn't well. He's so sweet, though. He's so sweet, but oh my God. We have to trank him at night because otherwise he'll keep you up all night. No one gets any sleep. Joey says, because that type of toxicity is destroying movie culture and fandoms. I don't know what that's in reference to. Backwin says, why hasn't the Droids and Ewoks cartoon have had a complete series release? I don't know, but it's a good question. Connor says, did I see the Muppets on the Disney sing-along Sunday night? I did. They needed more of the Muppets. And it was weird because they did the Muppet Show theme song. But they kind of set it up that they were going to do Together Again. Because Kermit came on and Seth Rogen says, like, something about, oh, we're together again. So I thought, oh, now they're going to break into Together Again. And then they did the Muppet Show theme song. I'm like, that was weird. You kind of like set it up to do one song, then you did another. Sav says, what's your favorite episode of the original series, The Next Generation, DS9, Voyager, and Enterprise? Favorite episode of the original series? Probably A Piece of the Action. I love A Piece of the Action. Love the scene where Kirk invents the game of Fizbin. That's my favorite scene in the episode. Favorite Next Generation episode? Favorite Next Generation? That's tough. That's tough. I'd probably go with, you know what? I think Measure of a Man is a good one, but this is rare. It's rare anyone ever names a first season episode of Next Generation as their favorite. But I love the episode Conspiracy, the ones with the little worm creatures. I wish they'd done a sequel to that. I really wish that they had kind of followed up on that in a Star Trek movie. In fact, if they brought them back, those little worm aliens, and did like the sequel to Conspiracy in a future season of Picard, I'd be happy with that. Favorite DS9, easily. The Romulan episode, the one where Cisco and Garrick in the pale moonlight. In the pale moonlight, not only is it the best Deep Space Nine episode, it's one of the best Star Trek episodes ever made. One of the best. It might be the best Star Trek episode ever made. In the pale moonlight, just stunning. Enterprise, the second season episode Carbon Creek is my favorite. And you didn't ask about Discovery, but I'll tell you my favorite Discovery episode is was it Music to Make the what's the title? Music to Make the sanest man go mad or something. It's the episode where Harry Mudd gets them in the time loop. Rainn Wilson from The Office says Harry Mudd. That's my favorite Discovery episode. Voyager. I'm not a huge Voyager fan. Voyager is my least favorite Star Trek series, but I do like the episode. I think it's called Deadlock. It's the episode where there's two Voyagers, and one of them's like really in bad shape, and one of them's okay. And Harry Kim dies, and Ensign Wildman has her baby, and you think it's going one way, then it goes another. I really liked that episode. Greg says, have I seen the last 4 Clone Wars episodes? Heard it was amazing. I've heard that too, but I haven't seen. I'm way behind. I'm watching the Clone Wars on Disney Plus, and I'm watching the current season, but I'm way behind on the current season. Eternal Harmony says, I just ordered Paul Fusco's Santa's Magic Toy Bag from Hamilton Book. I've never seen it, but I really like Fusco. Any thoughts on the special? I've never seen the whole special. I've seen clips of it, and it's a little weird because, I don't know, he doesn't really disguise his voice, so you get this, like, elf who sounds like Alf. Alf. That's weird. Rick says, did I watch the Back to the Future reunion on YouTube? I have not. I did watch the Community reunion, though. I definitely watched the Community reunion. Lisa says the MGT live feed is open to the public if you share it, but you have to register. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was open to the public. Frank says, I need to watch the 80s Ewok cartoon. Never even knew it existed. It was more or less the Smurfs. It was like the Smurfs. They could all talk. They lived in the Ewok village. Could have just substituted the Smurf village. I mean, it was the Smurfs in the Star Wars universe. What am I missing? Greg says, I was at Walt Disney World when I heard about Jim Henson passing. Was about to get on the monorail, so I think of him each time I board it. I was in Boston. On a class trip. And I was with my class. You know, we were doing this class trip, and we were staying in a youth hostel. And I remember I was lying in bed, and our teacher came in to wake us up, and he says, "The Muppet Man died." I'm like, "The Muppet Man?" I didn't know what that meant. Like, I mean, like, the Muppet Man. And he said Jim Henson. I'm like, "Oh, Jim Henson died." I remember later that day, uh, Sammy Davis Jr. died too. Same day. Jim Henson and Sammy Davis Jr. died on the same day. And in fact, I kind of felt like Jim Henson's death got overshadowed because then everyone was suddenly just talking about Sammy Davis Jr. But yeah, they both passed on the same day. Gary says it's sad that Jim Henson died of a curable pneumonia. Think he probably just told the doctor that he came down with a cold. If you read the book, it was like there's a book, a good book about his life, biography, but they get into his whole illness, and he didn't think that. I don't know. He didn't really know what he had. By the time he found out what he had, yeah, it was a little too late. Joey says saying I should be banned for liking the Emoji Movie is no different than calling people who didn't like the female Ghostbusters sexist and misogynistic. I think the problem there, Joey, is I don't think anyone believes you. I don't think anyone thinks you really like the Emoji Movie. I think maybe you do, but you have a tendency to make these really outlandish statements. So I think people are starting to think that you're saying it for effect, not because you believe it. Well, I don't know. Maybe you do. James says, all right, guys, which cartoons do you think desperately needs a complete series release on DVD? Oh, I'd have to think about that one. I think most of the cartoons I grew up with were on DVD. Okay, it's not a cartoon. It's puppets. But you know what show I'd love to see get a complete release on DVD? Syphil and Ollie. The Syphil and Ollie show. I'd love to see the Syphil and Ollie show get a DVD release. Or The Family Dog. I'd like to see The Family Dog get a DVD. Rick says to Joey Baseball, man, it's not fun trolling when it happens back. Lisa says, I don't remember the moment I heard, but I was 9 and I was very sad. Greg says the Doomsday Machine for the original series and yesterday's Enterprise for the next generation may be the best of both worlds. But what about Deep Space Nine? What about Deep Space? Come on, it's got to be. It's got to be in the pale moonlight, right? There's a lot of good DS9s, but I mean, in the pale moonlight, man, that episode. That episode. Sav says my favorite DS9 is Little Green Men. Little Green Men's a good one. Little Green Men is definitely a good one. I think I'm way behind on this. Let me scroll forward. Hey, Aubrey's here. Welcome, Aubrey. David says, "Are you doing a video from the storage unit? Your DVDs are there." No. No. Hey, let me throw this out to everyone. And in fact, Greg, I think you sent me a message while I was doing the live stream, so I didn't really get to read it. I'll read it after the live stream. But you know these arcade one-up machines? I got one right here. Let me turn the camera. These arcade one-up machines here. There's my Star Wars machine. They have these risers to get them up higher off the ground because they're only 4 feet without a riser. Now those risers, you used to be able to buy them at Walmart for like $40. And Walmart doesn't carry them anymore. Like, you can't find them anywhere. So I go online, I start checking eBay, I start checking Amazon, I start checking everywhere. The prices on these things have shot up. They're going for over $100 online. Over $100. They used to be $40. But I need one. I need one now. This all has to do with why I was at my storage unit today. I don't want to say too much because we're talking Christmas present for my kids. On the other side of the coin, my kids don't watch this channel, so they're probably not going to hear about it. Don't any of you tell my kids. But we got another one. We got another one of these machines, and it's for Christmas. So it's sitting in the storage unit until Christmas. But I'm going to need a riser. I don't want to pay over $100 for a riser. So if any of you guys see a riser like at your local Walmart or something, and it's like $40, I mean, I'll pay you if you could. Pay if you want to ship it to me or something. I'll pay for it. Just send me a message, cause I ain't paying $100 for one of these things. It's driving me crazy. But anyway, let's see. Connor says, "Are you surprised Donald Glover was not in the community group chat?" Oh, poor Donald Glover. Donald Glover on the community reunion found out that they have a group chat going and he's not a part of it. Calm down. No, sit. Come on, sit. Just sit. I got him stirred up. Greg says 100 for a riser is dumb. Just build one. I'm not that crafty. I couldn't do that. I'm not that crafty. Richard Etheridge says, just wait till they restock or keep checking the Arcade 1-Up website. Well, that's the thing, Richard. I don't think they're going to restock because I've noticed the local Walmarts have been just getting rid of them. They never get more in. I just don't think they carry them anymore, which is weird because the machines are like 4 feet. So you kind of need the riser. So why would they discontinue the product? That tells me people aren't buying the riser. So people are just playing these things at 4 feet. I don't know. I'm 6'5", so I couldn't do that. And granted, I'm taller than most people. Maybe other people are just like, yeah, 4 feet's fine. I can do a 4 feet video, but not I. Aubrey says, I'll be on the lookout. Oh, thank you, Aubrey. I appreciate that. Hellboy Pie says, I'm sure they'll release more risers in the future. Have you seen the deluxe sit-down Star Wars 1-Up? I did. It's very cool. I wouldn't have room for it in the house. In fact, we barely have room for the second one that we're going to have at Christmas time. David says, do I have a P.O. box to send? I have to get one. I really do. I have to get one. But right now, I don't have a P.O. box. But it's something I'm looking into. Aubrey says, Oreo. Yes, Oreo is right here. Hey, Oreo. Oreo, don't you want to be on camera? Come on over. Be on camera. Be okay. He's just looking at me. Let me turn the... Let you guys see him. There he is. Oreo, you're on camera. Say hi. Such a sweet dog. You're a good boy, Oreo. There we go. James says, I know this is controversial, guys, but any thoughts on Ghostbusters 2016? I've never seen it, and I don't intend to, but I want to hear from you guys. I was very, very much against that movie from the get-go. Very much against it. And I was offended by the way the media tried to blame everything on misogyny and, people, they don't like women. And I have been waiting since 1989 for a third Ghostbusters. 1989. In the 90s, it looked like we were going to get one. Chris Farley was supposed to be a Ghostbuster. They were talking about Will Smith being a Ghostbuster. But kept hearing talk about a Ghostbusters 3. So I spent years waiting for a Ghostbusters 3. And Dan Aykroyd and Ivan Reitman were working on the script. It was going to happen. We got the word, it's going to happen. There's going to be a Ghostbusters 3. I'm like, finally, there's going to be a Ghostbusters. I've been waiting so long for Ghostbusters 3. And then we get the word, oh no, it's going to be a remake, a reboot. Immediately disinterested. Immediately disinterested. I've been invested in that sequel for too long. And to tell me you're finally getting the sequel, the creator's working on the sequel, and then pull it back, I wasn't happy. Then they start saying, oh, well, it's going to be 4 women. And I said, well, okay, I don't care if it's 4 women. What I care about is that it's a reboot. If you give me 4 women in a sequel, if you give me 4 women like, these are the new Ghostbusters, they were trained by Ray and Peter and Egon, and those guys turned it over to them, and it's in continuity with what we knew before. And Dan Aykroyd is there as Ray, and maybe Winston is there. And we have the legacy of everything that came before. I'm now okay with it. I don't care that they're women. The fact that they're women, that's irrelevant. I want the legacy. And you took away the legacy. That pissed me off. They also took it away from Dan Aykroyd, the creator of the series, the creator of the franchise. They yanked it out of his hands. And I didn't like that either. So I was very disinterested in the movie. And then they started trying to spin it that, well, if you don't want this, it means you hate women. You're a misogynist. And then that offended me. Because I'm like, don't tell me. I got 2 daughters. I'm all about the female role models, giving them some female role models to look up to. I mean, we love Rey from Star Wars in this house. My girls love Rey. They're crazy about Rey. We were very excited about Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel, and we love all these things because it's, role models for my girls to look up to. We like that. We're excited about that kind of thing in this house. But Ghostbusters? No, not because it's women, but because you took away the legacy. You rebooted it. You said that the first 2 movies never happened, and that I didn't want it. I eventually saw clips of the movie when it came to DVD. I saw bits and pieces of it, and all the bits and pieces I saw were dreadfully unfunny. And the trailer was terrible too. The trailer was horrible. So I started thinking like, okay, I didn't want to see it because I didn't like the behind the scenes politics behind it. I didn't like we're taking it away from the creator, we're turning it into a reboot when you guys were promised a sequel. Those were the things I didn't like. But that doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It just means it's not something I'm personally invested in. Well, then I saw clips of it, and I'm like, no, this is bad. This is really bad. This isn't funny. So, yeah, I no interest in that movie whatsoever. And then they gave me a free digital copy of it. They gave me a free digital copy on Movies Anywhere when you, like, merged your accounts. They were like, add such and such as a retail partner, and we'll give you Ghostbusters 2016. And I called them up and said, they gave it to me. They put it in my library. I called them and said, take that out. Take it out of my library. I don't want it. They took it out, so it's gone now. Rick says, I thought Ghostbusters 2016 was watchable. I heard the unrated one is better. Nowhere near Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Lisa says, you're 6'5". Good Lord, I'm only 5'3". I may need Fran Brill's boots to hang out with you someday. Watch my video in the Museum of the Moving Image. I show Fran Brill's boots. They were huge. Punk Nerd is back. He's talking to his girlfriend. Welcome back, Punk Nerd. James says there's a Crazy Joe. There's a Ghostbusters video game on the PS3 and Xbox 360 that's basically like playing Ghostbusters 3. Yes, I have that game. But I mean, come on, it's not a movie. It's not like a video game can never be a sequel. I mean, it's like You need an actual movie. Kyle says, "Yeah, the fire was what burned down my aunt's house." Oh, it burned down. Man, that's terrible. Does she have any place to go? I hope she has some place to go. Antiques in Motion says, "Us and the cast deserved an original story." Um, the movie Us. I don't know what we're talking about there. I don't know, but that's okay. I Want My Sauce says, "I really like the female Ghostbusters." I cannot agree with you on that, but hey, to each their own. Connor says, "Joe, have you seen Clock Stoppers? Great film from my childhood, directed by Jonathan Frakes." I've heard of Clock Stoppers. I'm familiar with Clock Stoppers. I've never seen Clock Stoppers. I've never heard much about Clock Stoppers, positive or negative. But if you recommend it, I'll have to check it out. Marie says that she's 5'3", but her license says 5'4". That's funny because I'm 6'5", but my license says I'm 6'4". I think I was 6'4" when I got my first driver's license, and then I grew like an inch, but they just carry it over from year to year. Gary says the same thing happened to me. I was stuck with a digital copy of Ghostbusters 2016. Alphabetically, it sits between the original and Ghostbusters 2, and I wanted it gone, and they never took it out. They did get rid of mine. They did get rid of mine. Blu-ray Snob says, "Have you seen Night Visions? It's like the Twilight Zone." I have not. Is that a new show, Night Visions? James says, "Anyone seen Erie, Indiana? If so, thoughts?" I remember Erie, Indiana being on. Never watched it. I remember the commercial for Erie, Indiana, where like the kid was the paper boy, and he was delivering the papers, and Elvis was like on his paper route, and and Elvis was like, "Thank you, little paper boy." I remember that. That was from the commercial. I never saw the show. Sav says, "I'm only 5'4". I'm not saying I'm short. I'm fun size. Home Slice says, "Pretty damn boring during quarantine, eh?" It can be. It can be pretty damn boring. But you know what? We'll get through it. We will get through it. We will survive. James says, "Okay, guys, poll time. Cheetos or Takis?" I've never had the Takis. Are they pronounced Takis? Or are they Takis? Oh my. No, I've had Cheetos. I love Cheetos. Connor says, "Clock Stoppers is a great sci-fi movie. To me, Jonathan Frakes brings his Star Trek knowledge to a fun kids film." Frakes is a good director. He definitely is. Sav says, "Ghostbusters 2016 is so bad." I won't disagree. Greg says, "Just watch the Hatchet movies starring Kane Hodder. Kind of humor slasher movie series." I really enjoyed the first two. I never actually saw the third or fourth. I own the third and fourth, so I gotta watch them. I gotta watch Hatchet 3 and 4. But I really liked the first two. I saw the second one in the theater. I think it was only in the theaters for like one weekend, and I did catch it that one weekend. I really liked how Hatchet 2 had a little Easter egg reference to the director's other movie, Frozen, not to be confused with Anna and Elsa. It was a movie about a ski lift with some wolves. Sean Ashmore, Iceman from the X-Men movies, was in it. But there was a little reference to Frozen in Hatchet 2. I got a kick out of that. Rick says, "Gonna head out, everyone." Hopefully, everyone here listened to the MegaPodTastic last week. I did with Joe. Thank you for stopping by, Rick. We'll see you later. Always great having you here. Aubrey says, "I'm 5'8". I feel tall, which is a rarity since my fiance is 6'4". Gary says, "Joe, I know you already responded, but did you ever try to get the remainder of the Firefly cast to sign your Serenity poster?" At Dragon Con one year, and it was actually the first time I ever hung out with Adam the Woo. Uh, Adam and I were in the Walk of Fame at Dragon Con, and my goal was to get Nathan Fillion and Sean Marr, however you pronounce his name, Simon from Firefly. I wanted to get Sean Marr and Nathan Fillion to sign the poster, and neither of them were at their table. And we were just milling about, waiting for them to get back to the table, and they weren't coming back. So finally, we just got bored and left. We were like, "Well, I'm not gonna wait for these guys forever." so, so yeah, I did try to get Sean Marr and Nathan Fillion, but I haven't yet. One of these days, I hope to. Connor says, "Did I get Harley Quinn on digital or physical?" I plan to get it on physical someday, but I bought the digital right away. As soon as they said they're releasing it early, I said, "Screw it, I'll just buy it." I think that's like the first time I've ever done that. That and Star Wars, I bought them both on digital right away. I said, "Screw it, I'm just buying the digital," because I didn't want to go out. And at that time, I hadn't left the house for anything, and I was like, "I'm not going out. I'm not going to do this." Someday I'll pick them up on physical at a flea market or something, but it's the first time I've ever just gone and out bought the digital. That not at a sale price. I bought digital copies like when Vudu has a sale, and it's like, "Hey, this movie's only $5 now." I've done that, but like some of the movies are frankly better on digital. Like, what is it? My Blue Heaven, the movie My Blue Heaven with Steve Martin and Rick Moranis. I think it's on Blu-ray now. But for a long time it was only on DVD, and the DVD was full screen, like cropped full screen to fit like an old style television. There was no widescreen version on the disc. And I'm like, so if I want this movie in the proper aspect ratio, the digital is the only way. It's the only way you're going to get this movie in the proper aspect ratio. So I went and got the digital version. And I'm like, okay, now I could finally watch this movie in the right aspect ratio, because the DVD doesn't have the right aspect ratio. I think since then it's come out on Blu-ray, though. But there were a couple movies like that. Sam is here. Hello, Sam. Sav says, "I've been watching Bumblebee and the Transformer movies and the original cartoon movie. Bumblebee is such a good movie. We need a sequel to Bumblebee." Oh, and Bumblebee was written by the same person, Christina Hodson, who wrote the Harley Quinn movie. She's one heck of a writer. James says, "Crazy Joe, there's a Blu-ray set of Tex Avery's Screwball Classics to be on the lookout." I've seen that. Yes, I think is that through Warner Archives, I think? Brandon says it was either the DVD or the VJS box, not the poster. What did I miss? I missed something. Aubrey says, "I can't do digital. I like my hard copy." So usually we get both. Well, usually we get the hard copy, redeem the code, and then we never watch the disc. We only watch the digital anyway. But I always know the physical's there, so it's like if ever the internet's down or something, they got the physical. But we never use the physical because the digital is just so convenient. In that, if we're in the basement, we can watch the digital. If we're in the living room, we can watch the digital. If we're up in the third floor, we can watch the digital. We don't have to go run and go down to the basement and grab the disc. Gary says, "Joe, if Sony's Valiant Cinematic Universe was successful, starting with Bloodshot, what's the next movie you would have wanted to see in that series? For me, I would have liked to have seen Exo Man of War." Not the one to ask, because I never really read the Valiant comics. But I do know, I always heard really, really good things. I never read it. but I always heard really good things about Quantum and Woody. So I would have been curious to see Quantum and Woody, though I think they're turning Quantum and Woody into a TV series starring Joel McHale from Community. So I'm excited about that. Let's see. Jim Dugan says Voodoo got rid of disc and digital. One of the casualties of Fandango taking over. I know. The day I heard Fandango was taken over, I said, well, you can kiss disc and digital and InstaWatch goodbye. I think I heard InstaWatch is going too. Uh, it's got to be. I mean, it's all done through Walmart. Walmart doesn't own them anymore. Walmart has no vested interest in Voodoo anymore because they sold it. So, Sav says tomorrow I'm starting the Star Trek movies. You're in for a treat, my friend. You're in for a treat. Uh, if you've never seen them before, just remember Star Trek the Motion Picture can be very, very slow. I love it. I have a great love for the movie. But if it's your first time, it might be a tough watch. Just remember, it gets better with Star Trek 2. Sam says, I've not been watching one of your streams in months. Well, welcome back, Sam. We miss you. My throat's killing me. I don't know how I'm going to do the podcast tonight. We do the podcast right after this. I've been talking too long. Jacob better do some talking tonight, man, because my throat's killing me. Let's see. Jim says on vacation, watch the digital. Yes, take the digital with you anywhere. Watch it on your lunch break at work on your phone. You can watch it anywhere. Chris Pike is here. How's it going? Good, Chris Pike. How are you? Oh, it's almost 10. We do have to wrap this up. Frank says, are you a fan of Tim Burton films? I'm a big fan of Tim Burton from the beginning of his career up till Mars Attacks. Ooh. After Mars Attacks, I think his movies start getting very, very spotty. I didn't care for his Planet of the Apes. I didn't care for Sleepy Hollow. I didn't care for Alice in Wonderland. I never saw Mrs. Peregrine. Yeah, I think his movies start getting really, 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 really spotty after Mars Attacks. But from Pee Wee's Big Adventure to Mars Attacks, love them all. James says, anybody heard of the Bone comic? I remember reading some of those as a kid. I have heard of those. I think they're coming to Netflix. Joey says, where is Jacob? Jacob's probably watching a movie or something, but I will be texting him in a minute. Joey says, didn't you say not long ago that Vudu was the best streaming service? Yes, absolute best. Absolute best. I watch all my digital movies on Vudu. The quality's great. They have the best interface. They're just terrific. Maurice says, I sent you throat lozenges. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Thank you. Noah says, did you know there are 3 sequels to Haley Mills' The Parent Trap? Yes. And none of them are on Disney Plus. One of them, or the last 2, Parent Trap 3 and Parent Trap Hawaiian Honeymoon, star a group of triplets, a trio of triplets. And one of the triplets went on to play Tori on Saved by the Bell. Sav says Star Trek 2 is a great movie. Indeed it is. Wes is here. Welcome, Wes. Fortunately, Wes, you're a little late. We're just wrapping things up. Lisa says Dave Goelz was in the dance scene from the original Parent Trap. I just learned that recently. I didn't know that, but I didn't know it before too long. Aubrey says, I got the podcast to work on my Alexa finally. It was super fun to listen to. Thank you, Aubrey. We appreciate it. Sam says, who did Vudu sell to? Walmart sold Vudu to Fandango. Fandango now owns owns Voodoo. All right, guys, I got to wrap this up because it is now time to record the podcast. I got to. Jacob and I are going to record the new MegaPodTastic Podcast. Here's the deal: we record with a video feed. There's a video feed. Nobody ever got to see it until a couple weeks ago. The video feed was we record on video, but then we only release the audio. Nobody ever saw the video. So we decided not long ago, 2 weeks ago maybe, that we're going to put the video feed of the podcast up on the Patreon page. So if you are a Patreon member for just $1 a month, you'll get the video feed to our podcast recording days before the podcast comes out. Now, it's not edited. You're not going to have the bells and whistles. I go in, I do a nice job editing it. I put in music and sound effects and whatever, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to get any of that. You're just going to get us talking about the topics, but you're going to get a video feed of it, whereas everyone else only gets the audio. And I put it up that night. So we'll record the podcast. And before I go to bed tonight, I will post the video of us recording the podcast. So at some point tonight, that'll be up there on the Patreon page. If you're a Patreon member, you could watch it. And then the podcast will come out on Friday. So you'll get it on Tuesday night. Everyone else will get it on Friday. So that's the deal. If you're interested in that kind of thing, just go over to patreon.com/megapodtastic and you'll have access tonight to the podcast that we're recording for Friday. All right, guys, I got to wrap this up. I am exhausted. I just saw Joey says, I remember Fandango and it was just puppets and brown paper lunch bags. I remember that. I do remember that. Cutter says, stop wearing those pajamas. Joey says, how much is Patreon? Just $1 a month or more, but it only has to be $1 a month. All right, guys, I got to go. Jacob's waiting on me. Till next week. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. And keep wearing those pajamas.